And what is up, everyone? TCT back again. We are over here at the Alamo Draft House. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what planet she's from. I don't know what rock she's been living under. This girl has never seen Titanic. So today they are showing it at the Alamo, I guess for Valentine's weekend. I don't know. But I am taking her to see Titanic the way it is meant to be seen on the big screen. I personally have never seen it on the big screen. I've seen the movie about 1,000 times, though, so it's actually in my top 5 of best movies. If you guys go back and look at my first podcast, in which I say it's my number 4, I honestly could put it at number 3 ahead of Gladiator. I love watching the movie. Yes, I know it's a romance movie, but I like the second half of the movie because James Cameron really shines in that. She is a big fan of composers. She loves James Horner. She watched Perfect Storm with me, and she's like, man, this is good stuff. Well, this is his best soundtrack. This is the soundtrack he's known most for, that and Avatar. So we're going to go in here. We're going to see her reaction to the Titanic, and I hope everybody follows along in this video, because when we come out, we're going to be discussing it. Everybody has asked me for years to discuss the Titanic and discuss movies, like my favorite movies. Well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to discuss what I think of the Titanic. So here we go. Let's go inside and watch the Titanic, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, Billy Zane, and don't forget about Kathy Bates. She's wrecked. You wrecked? She's wrecked. We're going to talk about it. All right, guys. We just got out of James Cameron's Titanic from 1997. Of course, like I told you, I've viewed this movie several times. What did you think of it?
Whoa.
Whoa. She thinks
That's my
whoa.
first word.
That's her first word. Did it destroy you though?
If it had no music, it would have been a little bit easier.
If it had no music, it would have been a little bit easier. So James Horner basically killed you.
Yeah, but the music, and then there was lack of music.
There was lack of music in certain parts.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think of Leonardo DiCaprio's performance in this?
He was young in this, wasn't he?
He was really young in this.
It
was
really
right after he did Quick and the Dead.
He was really good.
Right when he was doing Romeo and Juliet as well.
Oh, okay, that's why it looked familiar.
Yeah,
because I'd seen the Romeo and Juliet.
Kate Winslet, what'd you think?
She, as usual,
really, really good.
I liked her in Hamlet.
She liked her in Hamlet, okay. And then what'd you think about... Well, this was my favorite character in the movie, by the way. What did you think of Billy Zane, who played Cal?
He was a good
bad guy.
Bad guy, yeah.
He made you really hate him, and which I'm a fan of his because, for one, he plays in Back to the Future a little bit, but I liked the movie The Phantom when I was a kid. I think he was really fun as the Phantom, even though say what you will about that movie's not very well received, but I do like The Phantom, and that role helped him to get this in James Cameron's Titanic. And then what did you think about Kathy Bates, who played the unsinkable Molly Brown?
Okay, Molly Brown was like the American of the 20s.
The American of the 20s.
Well, not the 20s, the teens, sorry.
Okay. So basically, the thing you got to know about her is she used to be broke. She used to be poor. She knows what it's like to be on the other side. So when you see her defending Jack in some of these scenes and getting ticked off at the way that they're treating him and Rose, that's where you see, hey, I used to be one of them. So by insulting them, you're insulting me.
My favorite part was the pin.
The what?
When she gave him the pin.
Oh, right. So if you don't catch this, so when Jack is at the dinner and he gives Rose the note at the end saying to meet at the clock, you see Jack hand her back the pen. He goes, "Thank you, Molly," and she puts the pen away. Well, the pencil that he writes the note with was hers, and she knew what he was doing. She knew exactly what he was doing, which is why you see her little smirk or whatever when he gives it back. So you can see Molly was helping Jack to win Rose over because she didn't like Cal either, So and that was tremendous by Billy Zane playing that character to make you really hate him towards the end of it, in which I give him all the props in the world. Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, some of the best roles ever.
Very good chemistry.
But like without Billy Zane, to me, that would have fell apart. You know,
you need that foil.
Well, you need that foil. You need that guy that's gonna drive her to Jack. Now, we get all the way up from the beginning in which you see Gloria Stewart playing Old Rose.
Right.
They show everything. The simulation now has changed a little bit since it really happened. It's kind of turned. You can look it up and see it. But what did you think of the Old Rose, the narration Rose?
I hope I grow up to be like her.
You hope you grow up to be like her.
She was awesome.
Okay, so we get all the way from the story, the backward shot that I showed you, like right when you first see the RMS Titanic. Everything in that shot was backwards when they were on the set, so they flipped it so that way it would look right, so that the way it was leaving port this way instead of that way, you know. So that was really cool. Did you know that when they show the submersibles going into the water at the beginning of the movie, they are not actually in the water?
Really?
They're in a really dark room with blue light and a bunch of particles in there to make it look like that they're underwater. It's a model Titanic. So it's not real. I can tell you that now because we watched the movie.
Wait, that wasn't Robert Ballard?
No,
shots?
no. It was based on them.
Okay.
You know, James Cameron actually did dive down to get photos and everything, which is why we actually have what happened, like with the Morse code. People thought for years that the Titanic had a huge gaping hole ripped in there until James Cameron went down there for the first time with his robots, and you didn't see anything. You're like, well, how did it sink? They seen these little holes in the side of the ship, and they pinpointed them accurately. So that way they could get an idea of how it sank, and that's where that computer image came in that showed how it sank, that they showed Old Rose, which was great. It's since changed since the movie, but that, you know, the Titanic, instead of going straight up, it kind of tilts to the side a little bit and then goes down like that. So if you guys get a chance to look that up, great. But we get through that. We get to see Fabrizio and then Tommy, you know, the Irishman they meet on the tragic ends to them, right? Like Fabrizio really wanted to go to America to be a millionaire.
Yep.
And then Tommy just wanted to live at the end of the movie.
And the shot of the Statue of Liberty as Rose.
The shot of the Statue of Liberty
alone.
Was there alone? Yeah. What did you think of the sinking scene, like when they're trying to turn? It makes you think that maybe they're going to miss the thing.
Oh yeah, the engines.
Yeah, James Horner's music's playing, the engines, the hard to starboard scene. It's one of the best scenes in the movie. And then they show how all the water's busting in. It's a great scene. And then they start realizing that things are going bad. And then you get still the story's moving with Cal, you know, framing Jack, her going down there to save him from the Master at Arms. And then also she gets on the lifeboat. Cal and Jack are both able to talk her onto the lifeboat. Then she jumps back off because she can't live without Jack.
Right.
And what you see the parallel at the beginning of the movie, Jack just wants to live. Rose wants to kill herself. Rose wants to die. So it's a perfect parallel to see Rose end up having her life saved by the man who wanted to live. Like, so she wanted to live, so Jack naturally gives his life that he wants to live so bad for her so that she can live for him. In which, you know, at the beginning of the movie, you hear her name was Rose Dawson before she moved to Cedar Rapids and became Rose Calvert, right? She took his name, you know. Yeah, for those of you who have not seen the Titanic, spoilers, Jack does die at the end. And there's a great fact. I don't know if it's true or not, because I don't think Leo's ever confirmed it, but I think James Cameron did. During that scene, he actually fell asleep when he was supposed to, like, go back into the water. So as he's going down, Leonardo DiCaprio is asleep, in which they said that originally he was supposed to survive, but because he was asleep and ended up fading into the darkness, they thought that would be a great way for him to go out.
Wow.
So they actually changed the ending from what I think James Cameron was talking about, simply because Leonardo DiCaprio fell asleep in that tank, in which it was a great moment, great shot, and then she kept the promise, didn't she? So everything, like you said, the musical score, James Horner, we've listened to The Perfect Storm, we've listened to Avatar, great scores. Guys, if you haven't seen The Perfect Storm and listened to that music, some of the most epic stuff. But what do you think of the Titanic soundtrack? I think it's personally his best soundtrack that he's done.
And the hints of the theme, and then he changed the key of the theme.
He changes the keys a lot.
And made it
and
dark.
they mixed My Heart Will Go On into the orchestrated soundtrack.
They did.
In which he wrote that, by the way, for Celine Dion, if you guys didn't know. So, if we're going to grade the movie... By the way, did you think Jack was able to fit on that door? That's the question everybody wants answered.
I don't know.
You don't know?
But it was a first-class door, which I thought was very poignant. That she stuck on the first-class door.
So she doesn't know. Okay, so there's your answer right there. She's not sure. He could have. He couldn't have. Me, personally, I think he could have. But it's James Cameron. He's going to give us a grade ending no matter what. Grade for the Titanic. What do you think of giving it from an A to an F grade, and then from a 1 to 10 grade? What is the 1 to 10 grade for the Titanic?
I'd give it a 10.
She gave it a 10. Perfect 10, in which I definitely would have as well after seeing it for the first time. Like I said, I didn't see it in the theater. This was my first viewing in the theater.
Seeing it in the theater with the theater speakers.
Yeah, it's the way...
That was...
Guys, like I said, if you have a movie pass, like a season pass to either Regal, Alamo, anywhere you have, and they're showing Titanic, go do it. Especially if it's like Avatar, Titanic, any huge movie like Terminator, go do it. I mean, I know it's an older film, but go do it. It really, 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 really is the way you're supposed to watch that kind of movie. You can watch it at home, it won't feel the same. No. And she got to experience it first in the movie theater, which I'm jealous of that. But I felt just as I would have watching it for the first time, watching it in the theater. It's great. So you give it a 10. So I'm guessing A+, right?
I give it an A+, and I don't know if I would put Horner above Williams, but it's
James Horner is really close to John Williams.
It's very close.
She just watched Superman for the first time, guys, and she loves that theme. Guys, get on over and check my Big Lick Con convention video. She bought John Williams's musical script, so it's in the video. So get on over there and do that, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. The Titanic, it's one of the greatest movies ever. Like, I could put it at 3 past Gladiator if I wanted to. The reason why I got Gladiator at 3 is because I love Joaquin Phoenix to death. I mean, I think his performance in there outshines everything. But anyway, I give Titanic a perfect score always, simply because James Cameron is a master filmmaker. So don't forget to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. And as always, this is TCT and Pinky Squirrel signing off. See you guys again on the next video. Guys, if we go and see more movies, she's going to be in it from now on, okay? I promise you that. Let me know if you want me to review any more films. Personally, we both will do that, all right? See you guys again on the next video. Hope you guys have a great day. Titanic. It broke you, didn't it?
Yep.
It really broke her. All right. See you guys next time.